Hi today, and this is a really sad day. In the UK, we have had an attack on a school in Southport, and it's really like waking up to find yourself in a war zone. My prayers go out to the parents of the two children who died and six others that are critically ill in hospital. It is really terrifying that this is happening to our children. We can't protect the children. And I believe that it is a overspill from the wars going on in Ukraine and in Palestine. These are the front lines to what is actually World War III going on right this moment. Some people are saying that they believe that an alien entity is taking over Earth and it is preparing it for it to be comfortable for it to fully descend here. This is quite interesting, although it might sound wacky, and to some people who are firmly in the third density, it might sound disrespectful to what's going on today. But think about it. Think about how it's all very strange, the events we've had here, and they've been global. At the moment, there's children dying all over the world, being murdered in horrific ways. The world is in chaos because of it. The UK is in chaos today because of it. Think about the COVID. So the COVID arrived and it was global. Then we had vaccines. Again, that was global. And if you watch Netflix programs like Colony, like the film Oblivion with Tom Cruise, you can see how this kind of energy, because it is an energy, operates. What they are doing is taking a less evolved, chaotic parts of the world and then putting them over the calmer parts of the world. And they are bringing young men from these parts of the world. And then this part of the world and parts of Europe are becoming highly chaotic. Of course, the two don't really mix when it's young men from war-torn areas, because they're traumatized. They're not being counseled when they come here. There's not the facilities for that. They're just being put in hostels. And of course, in their minds, they're still in a war situation. And there's plenty of people online to tell them that this is the case and to back that up. And of course, the general population, the UK population, is absolutely terrified about what's going on, terrified they can't protect their children. And indeed, they can't protect their children. We cannot protect our children because this is the war situation that's going on. I'm looking at people like Tommy Robinson who are saying, oh, Muslims are the problem, Muslims are the problem. But look at what's going on in Palestine. Muslims are being murdered. So how can it be that they are the root of this evil? I don't think it's any particular race. I think it's this alien entity. And I use the word, you can use a different word. You can use demonic or satanic. This entity that has arrived, indeed, it does say in the Bible that will be a season where Satan is loosed before end times. And I do believe that this is end times because there's so much chaos. And you see the people in Ireland and Dundalk, etc., rebelling against the migrants coming to their area, saying it's going to be chaotic. And indeed, it will be chaotic. And they're saying, oh, we'll be voting a new politician. But this has gone beyond that new politician or electing this one and electing that one. If you observe these things like the TV series on Netflix, Colony, if you observe that, then you can see how it operates. And the idea of humanity fighting back against this force is a little futile because it's a supernatural force. This is what I believe has got hold of the globe and is shaking it and creating chaos because it actually feeds on the chaos. It's like a toddler looking down at an ant farm and brushing its hand against it because it's fun, and it wants chaos, and chaos is certainly arriving. I doubt that many people in Southport will feel very safe to bring their children to school. I know if I was in that area, I wouldn't bring my child to school right now, but of course it's the summer holidays, but you know, I would keep my young child with me. But of course, children of any age, you can't protect them right now, even just roaming the streets. They can't be protected because of the way this is going off. I do believe we will have another virus, more vaccines, the digital ID to turn this world into a place where this entity, this energy, call it what you will feel more comfortable. And that is an energy of misery and chaos and war. So it's bringing that in. So it's no point blaming this politician, that politician. Oh, it's Netanyahu. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's the Muslims. It's this. It's that. It's this. It's that. No, it's something far above that, far deeper than that, far darker, far more terrifying than that, that has a hold of this planet at the moment and is pushing it into chaos. So knowing that and, you know, watching these programs, because that'll help your mind awake to what's going on, such as the film Oblivion and the series Colony, to wake your mind up, because our minds are adjusted to the whole 3D reality. We don't really see outside the box, and we're encouraged by our elites to not look outside the box. And that's woo-woo. Well, what happens when people die? Are they just gone? Are they just disappeared? No, they're not. They've just gone to a different realm without their bodies. So try and have that as a reality as well. Try and move yourself out of the box type view of everything and the box type view of this, because if you have a box type view of this, you're not going to be able to solve it. You're not going to find a way out of it. You're not going to be able to find a way to survive it. Now, Earth is a place that we come, and we are temporarily here. We're just temporarily here. So bear that in mind as well. We're given to believe, oh, we're here a lifetime, but we're here temporarily. So bear that in mind. Our real habitat is elsewhere. So please don't view all I'm saying as woo-woo, dismiss it. Literally, you won't be here forever. You're going to go to your natural habitat. So we're all from different places. We're all implanted from different places, different stars, different galaxies. We come, but again, as soon as you enter the third dimension here, we are encouraged to forget by what has taken over this this particular planet, and it has now changed. It's changed up. I mean, it was bad to start with, but it's changed up. And it was only this person or that person that would suffer a great trauma, great tragedy, or spiritual targeting, as they say. But now what's happening is the whole of humanity is being targeted in that way. So some of us, for instance, I was born into an orphanage. I was given to pedophiles and had to perform acts on them, and was beaten. So I understand, because I've looked into it, what's going on. I thought, why would my parents like that? Why was I given to that? And I grew to investigate evil by visiting such serial killers as Ian Brady, Kenneth Bianchi, the Hillside Strangler, investigating the real Ray and the Omar bomb. I became a journalist. I became a private investigator to investigate what's going on. So I know and understand from a lifetime of investigating this, what actually is the root at it, and the root at it is entity. It's a thing called NAA, Negative Alien Agenda for Planet Earth. And what happens in the case of serial killers, they host these entities or split off entities from the one entity. Some people call it the demonic realm. You can call it the demonic realm, that will certainly fit, but it doesn't really give us that much of an explanation. It does like fear and terror, and it is powerful. You could perhaps read books like the Book of Abramelin, and look at the demonic princes if you really want to study this kind of thing and go deep into it, deep down the rabbit hole, as I call it. But some people these days believe that deep down the rabbit hole is Trump in bed with the Russians. No, deep down the rabbit hole means coming out of this density and looking at what's going on around it, because there are far powerful beings, far more powerful entities than us. So what way to deal with life at the moment when you wake up and find yourself, your child has been murdered, your child has been hurt and is in hospital. You fear for your child, you fear for yourself. How do you deal with life? Now, what we need to do to deal with life is to connect back up to our own supernatural power, because it's the only way that you can deal with what's going on at the moment. It's a war, and it's a frequency war, and they're using certain of their minions. There's no particular race for that. Certainly the globalists are hand in glove, but there must be some of them that are awake to what's going on and against it. But they have full control because they have those that are hosting in the position of power. So we're not in a very good position at the moment, but this has all been written about, obviously, in certain prophetic books. And what we need to do is connect up with what we know as a God, whatever that might be. It might be that you walk out in nature and sit and cry and call out to God as you know God. It might be that you pray. It might be that you go to a church. It might be that you pick up the Bible. Any way will help you. And as soon as you call on that, as soon as you call on that supernatural force, it will start taking presence in your life. It will start making you feel a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit less like chaff blowing in the wind. We literally are like chaff, and we need to plant ourselves more firmly in the ground. Now, I had an experience 3 years ago where I was made homeless, and I literally didn't know where to turn. I had probably what's known as a breakdown, and I couldn't move. And the only thing I could do, somebody told me in a Facebook group, go out and pray the Psalms. So I went out to park, wasteland area, and I started to read the Psalms. Psalm 23 was really helpful. And I just said it aloud, called out for help. And I literally felt God answer me for what I wanted. And one of them was to not feel so scared all the time. Now, if you've been through a trauma and you experience it, even if you're just affected by reading about what happened in Southport and other events, the best thing to do for that trauma is to pray, is to connect up spiritually, is to know that you have something there that has got your back, and it is in the supernatural. You can't look to mummy, daddy, politicians. They're not going to do it. They are literally gone. So it's the only answer. Pick up the Bible, pick up the Quran, pick up a book, pick up anything. Get on your knees, pray. Just ask for strength, ask for comfort, and ask to, there's a bit in the Bible where Jesus is out with the disciples and the storm's a terrible storm, and they're absolutely terrified. And he says, you little faith. I can't remember what part, but look it up and read that and try and imagine yourself in the boat with Jesus. And Jesus says, keep your calm and know that you have a father. Have faith. So we have to have faith that we have a father, that we're not children of nobody. And this is a really evil entity that has control, that is shaking. It's almost like it's got earth in its fist and is shaking it. And this is what we're dealing with at the moment. So there's no point in let's vote in different politician, let's march. Literally, it's bigger than us. It has, and I know people have to march. I have nothing against people marching, but and it's nice to gather together, but it won't change anything. It won't change because it can't change anything, because this is something bigger than humanity. Humanity hasn't got control of the steering wheel right now. And it's deliberately, what has got hold of the steering was deliberately taking us into a death dive. And the only comfort we have is a supernatural power. Wouldn't it be great if we all got together and literally prayed? And I believe during the COVID, somebody went to Trafalgar Square and started to say the Our Father, and it was really powerful to listen to. So if there are going to be gatherings, let's pray in them. Thanks for listening.